Hello, this is Christian Burris, and my presentation is about an interview of a library technology administrator. The Administrator's Library is a private academic library in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Its primary patrons are the schools of business and law on its campus. However, it is open to the larger community and the wider public. The size of the collection is 180,000 volumes, and most of the volumes do not circulate, meaning that they reside within the library and can only be read there. The administrator himself earned his MSLS degree in 1983 and has been employed at the library since 1995. His current position is the Associate Director for Collection Services and Systems. The administrator's responsibilities include being the system administrator for the Voyager ILS, configuring PCs and laptops within the library to run special software programs such as macros, configuring all of the PCs and laptops within the library for operation after every major software upgrade, meaning these for public and staff use. He also develops hardware workarounds for systems that are removed and are not replaced. For instance, several years ago, the campus provided laptops no longer supported parallel ports, which meant most of the PCs and printers within the library would not be able to function. He had to develop a workaround quickly and was able to do so. The tools of the administrator's trade include the following: MarcEdit for the batch operation of MARC records, MacroExpress 3.8, the suite of Microsoft Office products, tools for the Voyager ILS developed by Gary Strawn, TextPad, Dreamweaver, and Adobe Fireworks. In order to stay current, the administrator feels that he lives in the middle of it, with a lot of the changes and upgrades necessary for the library's operation happening around him on a daily basis. In order to stay current personally, he reads listservs, electronic journals, and print journals. Examples of listservs that he reads are Voyager L, the Association for Library Collections and Technical Services Forum, or ALEX, and the Next Generation Catalog. Journals include Library High Tech, Information Technology in Libraries, and ACRL News. In addition, he values word of mouth and similar networking opportunities to receive word about any of the latest buzzwords that have been circulating around library procedures. He receives articles that have been forwarded to him by colleagues who have read other listservs and journals that he himself does not read on a regular basis. He also sends email to developers and agents of various up-and-coming products to learn how they can be used within his library. And he also said that he's not afraid to search Google in order to find a quick answer to a problem. As far as the implementation of new technologies, the administrator's library is a relatively small operation, so there's no pressure to upgrade to the latest systems right away. External decisions that involve the library are made on a collaborative basis. These include nearby libraries that use similar products, as well as statewide consortia and other entities. Internal decisions regarding any hardware or software purchases are made by the administrator himself. He has no institutional barriers, and the phrase he uses is, "If we can afford it, we can do it." The latest development in his library has been leasing new hardware for his library. This is a very important step which will cut system upgrades down from 4 years to at least one, maybe less. As far as technology skills for library staff, the administrator regards the following as important: problem-solving skills, being able to manage information on the fly and determine the best tools that can be used in order to solve them. The ability to create macros in order to simplify complex procedures and to eliminate the number of hands that would handle materials. And he's a strong advocate of using the tools at hand to solve problems. In other words, can this problem be solved by using Access? Can it be solved using Excel? MarcEdit perhaps? These are the approaches he uses in order to find solutions to any problem that may occur. For the administrator, the greatest development in library technology has been the introduction of the personal computer into libraries. In his words, it has revolutionized how libraries have operated. The introduction of the internet and similar resources such as the World Wide Web would not have been possible without it. He added that libraries today would not be able to function at their current levels, meaning that librarians are now able to crunch complex numbers and other tools on their desktop without having to outsource it to other bodies. Also, this has moved libraries away from the print-based world into the electronic-based world at breakneck speeds, and those speeds are only increasing as time goes on. As far as future technology developments, the administrator felt that tools that will be able to unlock some of the traditional library silos would be very important. For example, MARC record data that had been previously inaccessible to the catalogs and other systems that exist today. He also believed that web applications can be used and developed for the mobile device market and beyond, since more and more students and faculty are using smartphones in their work. And he also felt that the potential had come at last to create a semantic web using the control vocabulary of libraries as a starting point. As far as the technology wish list, the administrator had the following recommendations: an additional person to take over lesser responsibilities, more integration with current technology across campus, a hope that the campus would not implement technologies that would require several people to establish and maintain, and his impossible dream for the world to slow down for a while in order to allow him to catch up with his own work. It's not technology based per se, but he would like the time to explore new software and hardware developments and determine their feasibility within his library. For final thoughts, the administrator had a strong belief in customer service. He saw not only library patrons, but also other library staff as his customers. He's never been afraid to think outside the box to solve problems. He said that it does not matter how much technology one has, but it does matter how to get that technology to suit one's needs. In other words, the technology can be the greatest in the world, but without the people to help operate it, it's really nothing. He found great satisfaction in finding solutions that use complex tools to save staff time and not push any difficulties farther down the chain of workflow. If a problem can be handled at the point of ordering, for example, it should stay there and not wait for the catalogers to approach it. And finally, by thinking through the problem, a solution can usually be found, hopefully without much in the terms of resources or time to solve. This concludes my presentation, and I thank you for your time, attention, and listening. Goodbye.